this would be a great one for you to start with.
Okay.
SEC is talking about looking at the possibility of having their own playoff and not participating in a playoff with the other conferences. What would your reaction to be to that type of thing?
Yeah, appreciate the question. I got no reaction. I got one thing that I'm focused on, and that is the Clemson Tigers and getting ready to play Georgia Tech in the Dome on Labor Day night, and that's it. All that other stuff, I'll let everybody else figure all that out.
Now that we have grades around, has everybody made it through unscathed?
Yeah.
And can you give me just a quick injury update on everybody?
I can, because we just I don't know if we got enough time, but we had our first big staff meeting this morning where, because we've been kind of virtual for the last 3 or 4 weeks, everybody traveling, but from a academic standpoint, I'm really proud of our guys. It was an amazing semester. We set our spring 3.0 record coming into this spring was 63 players with a 3.0 or better. We had 80 players make a 3.0 or better, which is an all-time record. So I expect us to shatter the GPA record when I get that final tabulation. And then and that was 80 out of 109 that went through spring. So academically, I'm really, really proud of what the guys did. And then secondly, we had 109 players go through spring and 109 exit meetings and 109 guys still on the team. So I think out of the Power 65, there were only 4 teams that did not lose a player after February 1. And we were one of those. So, which shows you where college football is. 61 schools lost players during spring and after spring. So I love our team. I think that shows the maturity, the commitment, the leadership, the chemistry, the psyche of our team as far as how they feel about their coaches and just Clemson in general. So it was a really good semester from that standpoint. We got a lot done in spring ball. We got a lot done obviously academically, and then a lot of guys just getting well. So we've only got a couple of guys that aren't really kind of back at it, almost full, but we anticipate, right now having everybody full go once we get to of our scholarship players, once we get to camp. Adam will probably, he'll be in practice and rolling, but he might win or not, when they fully let him go, whenever that day is, I don't know, but he'll be rolling in camp. And and participating probably in a limited, probably a green jersey, but we'll see after. But he'll be there. It's not like he's a long-term guy that's not going to be in our 110. We got a couple of walk-on guys that might not be in the 110 because of the injuries that they might be later on when they get back. But all the scholarship guys are in a good spot. They're all really, really good. This is our mandatory training starts next week. This week is kind of, voluntary, kind of on their own, but pretty much the whole team's there. And skills and drills this morning at 7, and the guys are excited to be back. I think they all enjoyed a break. We had a lot of guys go out on micro internships from London to California and in between, which is always great experience for our guys. So we're in a good spot, and I really like the report I got this morning from the medical staff as far as where everyone is, and hopefully we can have the type of summer we need to have. It's going to be a big summer for us, strength conditioning wise, nutrition, recovery, you name it.
Dabo, you guys are going to get a good chunk of your signings coming in within the next couple of weeks, and so what's some reasonable expectations for those guys just coming along? And is there anybody that you're looking forward to just getting your chance to work with, and maybe some
all those guys. I mean, most of our guys, were in. We had a pretty good group come in for mid-year, but the rest of them will show up. It's fun, and the one change that they made compliance-wise is we can actually get on the field with those guys for like an hour, at a time. Now, only a ball, no good on good or anything, nobody going against each other, all individual technique, fundamental stuff, but that's really pretty cool because we've never had the opportunity to do that. So to be able to go out and have a little time with some freshmen especially and kind of get them acclimated and coach them at a slower pace prior to camp is something that we will definitely take advantage of. Now you got to take that time out of your 8 hours of training, so there's a balance there on when you do that and being strategic in that. But all those guys. I mean, we got some excellent linebackers coming. We're excited to get another running back in here. We've got a good group of a couple of DBs rolling in here. We got another couple of wideouts. We got Sapp at tight end coming in. So we got a good group of guys. Cade Story, Hunter Johnson's already here. He got here summer 1, so he's here and rolling. Get Jaheim in here. So you want to get them all here, get your team complete, and unfortunately we didn't get the rule pass where we could bring the whole roster in for camp, which is that's just makes no sense to me. But because they're here all summer, they train all summer, so we can only bring 110, and then the rest will have to kind of wait for a couple of weeks till we can get the school started. But that is what it is from that standpoint.
Still just looking for one offensive lineman in the portal?
We at this point, there's really nobody that really fits what we need. I mean, there were really there's a lot of guys, a lot of names, but we're not just looking for a name. We had 2 guys that we felt like fit everything we were looking for, and offered 2 guys and didn't get them. But yeah, there's really not anybody out there that's really would help us at this point in what we need. So we don't want to just take a guy to take a guy. That doesn't really help anybody. But the good news is we feel really confident about 14 guys that we have and the depth that we're going to have. We think we've hit on. We got 5 freshmen that we are really, really excited about, and Tristan and Ryan Linthicum and Dietrich Pennington, we think could have been a starter for us last year. Getting him back, he looks great. And then those 2 freshmen, Blake and Colin, coming in January. I mean, they're rare guys. I mean, it's not often that you sign guys like that in the offensive line that are physically and mentally prepared and strength-wise. So we love that group. We've got 5 sophomores, 1 true sophomore in Marcus Tate, and 4 redshirt sophomores, guys in that 3rd year that we feel have all made that step that we needed to see this spring. You got 3, juniors in Putnam and Parks and Mason, and you got 1 senior. So we like our group. We didn't really need another young guy. If we were going to get a guy, it was going to be a really veteran, older guy that had a lot of experience. There's some older guys in there that hadn't played anywhere. That's really not what we're looking for.
Dabo, you're known at your July kickoff sometimes to talk about a position group you think will surprise people this coming season. What's the position group you think folks may be surprised at?
I think it'll be our offensive line. I think that group is going to do very well for us. If we can stay healthy, and fortunately this year we got a little more room for some error from a functional depth standpoint. We really didn't last year, and it was a disaster. I think we'll have more functional players, and I think that's a position that's going to perform well for us. So, they probably get more blame than anybody else. No matter what happens, it's always their fault. But I can tell you this, you don't win the amount of games we've won, you don't beat the Alabamas of the world if you hadn't had good players in that offensive line. And we've had a bunch of good ones come through here. We had 2 in the Super Bowl this year. I love the group we have. So a lot of negativity around that group last year. Some rightfully so, but a lot of it not. But I think that's the group that I believe is going to play very well for Clemson.
Okay, gotta take him, guys. I'm sorry.